face, cop.
Are you a sports fan who loves to have a good laugh?
Oh, yeah.
Then you're in the right place.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Life moves pretty fast.
Patriots win the
Welcome
Super Bowl.
to the Man Cave Chronicles.
Brady has his fifth.
The winner of the $1 million and the star of the headline show in Las Vegas is... Shin Lim!
Welcome to another episode of the Man Cave Chronicles podcast, the podcast of top culture where everyone has a story. I'm your host, Elias, and you can find me on Twitter at the MCC Podcast. This week, my guest is 2018 America's Got Talent winner, Shin Lim. Shin, welcome to the cave.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Congratulations. I was rooting for you since day one.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
I mean, so how's your life been since you're winning AGT?
Crazy. I don't think I've had a day off. So it's been pretty nonstop for me and my fiance. We've been kind of just traveling around here and there, doing just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So I saw you've done Fallon and Ellen. How was it being on those shows?
Oh my gosh. It was always a dream for me to be on Fallon because he's like really picky with which magicians he brings onto the show. So to like have the opportunity to even be asked on that show is kind of like once in a lifetime, especially for a magician. And so when I was asked to do it, I was like, I was just so happy.
Yeah. So I want the listeners to get to know a little bit more about you. On the show, you said you were from Massachusetts. That's where I'm from right now. How did you end up living in Boston?
Well, my parents actually moved there when I was younger. So I moved there when I was about 11, and I've been living there ever since. Grew up there, went to school there.
Yeah. As a kid, what were you into?
I've always had like a super vivid imagination, so I was always into movies, into storytelling, into games. I would always like imagine myself in like either World War II or like in some sort of fantasy Lord of the Rings type of world, and I don't know. I was just a strange kid, but I always had a vivid imagination.
Yeah.
I also played the piano as a kid and all the way to college before I got carpal tunnel, and then I had to stop. But yeah, that was just kind of what I did before magic.
So how did you? So you went from music. How did you transition into magic?
Well, magic was always just something I did as a hobby. I did it because I was quiet, and magic was a kind of a great way for me to connect with other people on a different level. I guess get attention because I never got attention. And yeah, I started taking it more seriously after the whole carpal tunnel incident. And I guess I was kind of forced into it in a way because I didn't really have anything at that point when the piano thing didn't work out. So I was like, wow, I got to do something with my life. And people were always saying like, oh, you should be a magician. Like you should try it out. Like just give it a shot. Like it's actually like pretty good. And so I did. And then, yeah, and it really worked out well.
Yeah. Did you model yourself after somebody, or did you have somebody you looked up to in the magic world?
Yeah. These guys, I don't think you'll probably know who they are, but Lance Burton, he's a retired magician now. He used to be in Vegas. He's so good. I remember I watched him on YouTube when I first started out, and I was like, I want to be like that guy. Super suave and cool and like just really good at sleight of hand. And David Blaine was another huge inspiration for close-up magic, especially. And then, of course, there's also Dynamo and, a lot of the close-up guys out there.
Yeah.
They're big inspirations.
So you were self-taught. How much time did you spend a day learning magic?
When I was when I was first starting out, I spent a lot of time, about 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day. But as time went on, and of course with the carpal tunnel and everything, I couldn't practice as much as anymore. So now I'm going about probably an hour and a half now each day.
Wow. So magic is it's an illusion and it's art of a distraction. Like you say you practice about an hour and a half a day. Who do you test? Who do you use for like a test audience?
My fiance. I always show her my stuff. I show my friends, my close friends. I record also myself, and I watch it on video. And if I like it, then it's usually because I'm really picky actually with what I do. So I don't usually go hunky dory and do anything.
Yeah. So magic, it's a passion for a lot of people before it comes to profession. What made you decide one day that you want to be like a performer and this is what you want to do for the rest of your life?
Actually, secretly, I've always wanted to do it. Even before I got carpal tunnel, I've always dreamt of being a Vegas magician or a headlining magician because I just thought magic was so cool. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And so, but then when the carpal tunnel hit, that was when I was like, oh my God, I gotta actually take this seriously. I don't have any other skill sets. Magic is all I have. And so, so I went for it, and that's essentially when I started my career. I was pretty much forced into it because I had nothing else to do, and I had to make a living somehow.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta you have 5 years to make a living. If you don't make a living by then, you're out of the house. We're not gonna support you." So I was like, "Oh."
So
thanks,
what was your backup plan if it didn't work out?
I didn't have one.
What's the best advice that you've received throughout all this?
Pretty much to I guess have a pretty cool head with everything, to always just work with people. Are you talking about AGT or just magic?
Magic overall.
Oh, magic overall.
Yeah.
Man, to trust your gut. That's the main thing. Because at the end of the day, in order to be the best artist that you are, you have to be you. So many times, a lot of my friends who have mentors and stuff, for me, the downside of having a mentor sometimes, especially just one mentor, is you end up becoming like that person because you learn everything from that person, and then that's all you know, and then you end up duplicating him or her. A lot of my magician friends, they have mentors, and I look at the way they're performing, and they're not being them, they're being their mentors, and I just feel like the best advice is to always trust your gut and have many mentors, have many sources where you can learn things, whether it be YouTube or books or DVDs or instructional teachers or whatever, anything. You just get all the information out there, since now there's Google, so you can just get all sorts of information.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, just make up your own decisions, and that's what will make you special. It's by kind of being you and just narrowing certain things down, whether it be tricks or flights or whatever. It doesn't matter, but as long as you feel like you're doing what's right by you, at the end of the day, people will see that, and then I think people will appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree with that. So AGT, tell us about the first day you auditioned for that, and what was the process?
Man, it was crazy. AGT auditions are kind of crazy. It's like a circus backstage. There's just everyone's just running around, trying to shoot B-roll, trying to shoot interviews, and trying to shoot the show as well. And we're all doing it at the same time, and it's really crazy. It's pretty tiring, I have to say.
Yeah.
And really draining on the body. So yeah.
So how did you decide what tricks you wanted to do in the show, and how long did you practice those tricks?
Well, the each round was actually different. So the audition round, I only had 2 months to create that act. When I was coming into AGT, the first thing I said to myself was, I don't want to be a one-trick pony. Because a lot of magicians that kind of go on that show, I don't know if you noticed, but they have that one amazing audition, right?
Yes.
And then the second piece is worse. And then the third piece is even worse, and it keeps going downhill. So that was like the first thing I wanted to do. I told myself, I was like, my audition will be the worst piece that I do. And then after that, it'll keep getting better and better and better. Like, I refused to do my best act first, despite what everyone was trying to tell me. And that's another thing where, like, follow your gut. Like, yes, listen to other people, but at the end of the day, you gotta put your foot down and just do what you want.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the main things one of the major things that I had to, like, convince everyone, producers and my friends and stuff. Like, I'm gonna start off with my worst act, and so yeah, I just created that act specifically for AGT. I thought of what's kind of not the easiest, but what's like the fastest thing that I can come up with in 2 months, and that was it.
Yeah, I remember on your first on the first episode that you were on. After you were done, I turned around to my wife and I said, "If he doesn't win this, I am not watching AGT again." Those were my exact words to her.
Oh my gosh, thank you, man.
So what do you think is your most difficult magic trick?
I think in AGT or just in general.
Both, I guess.
Okay, in general, like, I have a couple of really difficult flights that I would never perform for people because it's just too difficult. Only I can do it for myself, and then that would be it. Because if I ever did it for people, I would mess up because it's just simply too difficult. And on AGT, the most difficult one was for sure the finale piece. And the only reason why it was so difficult was because it was created in like 2 days, 3 days.
Wow.
And I only had about, I think it was only an hour before the actual live recording that I finally got to see the whole act as a whole from beginning to end.
Wow.
Because before that, I didn't even, like, there were so many different things that hadn't been created yet. And so it was just kind of crazy. And I was so nervous. I was so scared. I don't know if you could tell, but, like, my voice was shaking during that performance.
Oh yeah. Which judge do you think gave you the best advice on the show?
Definitely Simon. I mean, he's kind of the guy that got me. That kind of sparked my. That inspired me. To create that finale piece.
Okay.
Because he was kind of saying, he wants to see me kind of step away from the table and do something a little bit bigger. And so that kind of gave me that idea for the floating cards. And I'm glad he made me do that, because I think that's kind of what changed the game and really helped me win the show.
Yeah, I agree. So what do you think is the most rewarding part of being a magician?
Definitely the reactions, because I think magic has such a strange type of feedback from the audience. Most shows, it's always applaud or cheering or screaming, but magic, there's always, it's almost like a movie. I like to relate it to movies all the time, because only magic can you get a reaction where it's almost like a scary movie, right? When they, like, say an audience is watching a scary movie, and then slowly there's some pause, there's some silence, and obviously something happens, right? The monster scares them and they all freak out and they all jump in fear. Or there's another one where it's a mystery movie, and at the very end, like, it kind of blows everyone's minds with an unexpected ending. And that's the exact same reaction that you can get from magic, which is something you can't get from any other type of art form, whether it be like musicals or singing or whatever, dancing.
So what are your future plans now?
I'm definitely going to try to do a North American tour, for sure. I know I want to be able to go around America, and because I know, like, I'm getting all these messages from fans from all across the U.S. saying, like, come to the city, LA, blah, blah, blah. So I know I have to do a North American tour for sure. And then after that, I'm going to kind of decide which venue in Vegas or Macau or any, like, Vegas-y type city that I want to expel my residency in.
Yeah. When are you supposed to start the Vegas thing?
Well, so I have the AGT Winners Vegas show November 1st to the 5th. Sorry, November 2nd to the 5th. But then after that, I'm gonna also have a residency. I don't have like a solid plan on exactly which ones. I do have a couple of offers, but it's just a matter of, like, deciding now.
Yeah. So I read online that you've also spent some time with Penn and Teller. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I did the Penn and Teller's Foolish TV show, which actually they're doing their season 6 now, season 7, which is really incredible. Really happy for them. Such an incredible show for Magic, and I got to hang out with them backstage after the show. And also, I also got the headline for their show so as a prize for winning, you get to headline their show.
Okay.
Which is awesome. So I got to headline their show for a day.
Wow.
And I got to hang out afterwards, and they're really nice guys. Super chill.
Yeah, I mean, those guys have been around for a long time doing magic and comedy.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best.
Yeah.
They really are the best in Vegas, I think.
So, you're going to do the tours. Is there anything else you want to share with the listeners before we end this?
Okay, I'm going to be doing The Illusionist on Broadway from November to December. January.
All right. And,
so, yeah, if you want to check me out on Broadway, then come see me then.
All right. And how can the listeners find you on social media?
I'm mostly on Instagram, so at Shin Lim Magic, or on Facebook /Shin Lim Magic as well.
All right. I want to thank you for coming on. This was a blast.
Oh, no, thank you so much for having me.